Local authorities are threatening churches and nonprofits with fines and other legal action, accusing them of violating zoning laws and local ordinances by housing and feeding homeless people.
About 6 years ago, we started using trailers on the backside of our property, 2 trailers on the backside of our property to help those that are struggling in our community.
For several years, the Rock Church in Castle Rock, Colorado provided shelter to people experiencing homelessness in an RV and trailer behind the church. The church's ministries also include food distribution, job training, financial assistance, and other efforts to help them transition into long-term solutions. However, at least one neighbor isn't comfortable with the location of the temporary shelters.
Without any access to basic locations of groceries, work, I don't feel like this is the right place for it.
Between 2021 and 2023, the town ordered the church to cease its ministry. Recently, a judge ordered the ministry could continue housing people in their RVs while the case is heard in the courts.
But it's really difficult for pastors to not only be under these constant threats by the government, have to talk to attorneys in an area that they don't really know that much about, but then also have to continue to care for the desperate ministries around them.
Jeremy Dice, an attorney with First Liberty, is representing the church in its lawsuit against the town for violating the right to practice religion.
This is why we filed a lawsuit because of our religious freedom to continue to do what we believe we're called to do.
It's not only religious freedom at stake. For those being helped, it could mean the difference between staying on the streets or getting a chance at starting a new life.
If it wasn't for this trailer and this church, I feel I would have been in the same position because I wouldn't have left that element that I needed to get away from.
Similar legal battles are being fought across the country. In Byron Center, Ohio, First Liberty is representing Pastor Chris Avell of Dad's Place, who faced nearly 24 criminal charges for housing the homeless. Those charges have since dropped. And in California, a federal judge gave Micah's Way a favorable ruling protecting their outreach efforts.
All of them are united under one theme, that the towns and the cities simply don't want that religious ministry occurring in their neck of the woods and want to push them to the margins of their community, if not shut them down altogether.
Jeremy says the saving grace is a federal law called the Religious Land Use and Institutionalized Persons Act, which protects religious institutions from discriminatory zoning laws and other land use regulations that are used to restrict religious exercise.
Rather than punishing these pastors, cities should be encouraging them and praising them for their good efforts.
Instead, Jeremy sees this struggle becoming more commonplace. The outcome of these legal battles will have significant implications for religious freedom and community outreach nationwide. Brody Carter, CBN News.
Gordon, it's hard to comprehend how there's a conflict with the call to care for the least of these.
Well, there is no conflict. If you're a Christian, you're under commandment to care for those in need. This is part of what it means to be a Christian. Yes, we believe in Jesus. Yes, we love God with all of our heart. Yes, we love our neighbor as ourselves. And when we see neighbors in need, we don't just say, may you be warmed and filled and go on your way. We have to do it very tangibly. And we have to let our work show what we are all about. And that is just fundamental to the Christian faith. Churches should be known as places of refuge. They have been known for that for centuries. When you look at the history of the church, all of the hospitals grew out of church outreaches. All of the lodgings grew out of church outreaches to help weary travelers. All of these things are part of Christian tradition and should be upheld. Let me give you a little legal history. It's curious that this case is out of Colorado because Colorado passed some very restrictive zoning laws when the house church movement was taking off. And so on Sunday morning, neighborhoods would find, well, there's a whole lot of traffic to a particular house or houses in our neighborhood, and we don't like that because people were coming to homes to have church services. So that's where these zoning restrictions first started. In a curious twist of history, the government of China watched what was going on in Colorado, used the same tactic to shut down house churches in China, which is, it just is mind-boggling to me that they would learn from our laws how to restrict religious exercise in China. That's why we have that federal law about land use, that if it's for religious purposes, then there can't be zoning restrictions on it. We all need to come together here to say, we believe in the free exercise. Congress shall make no law respecting, number one, the established. There's no established church of the United States of America. We won't have that. Or prohibit the free exercise. So let us go out and exercise our Christian faith, do it very tangibly, and most importantly, take care of the least of these, the ones who are neglected, marginalized. Let's do that, and let's do that in the name of Christ.